Hey, what's up, rooms 10 and 11? Here we go. It is, Tuesday. For a second there, I couldn't remember if it's Monday or Tuesday. It's Tuesday. All right, sweet. Hey, we're on lesson 104, and we're picking up on page 773. Woo! Man, we're almost to the end of the book. Don't worry, I don't think we'll make it all the way there. But we'll give it a try. All right. So with today's lesson, while you guys are getting out those books and you're pulling them out and you're getting out your math sheets for tonight's homework, because we're going to go over some of those, and you're getting out Thursday night's homework, or no, I think you should have checked that. I'm pretty sure lesson 103 was at the end of my math test instructional video for Friday. So jump back there, look at that video, check lesson 103 if you haven't done that already, because we're going to jump into lesson 104 right here. Now, with lesson 104, we're going to be able to write mixed numbers, so like a mixed number like 1.5, we're going to take that mixed number, we're going to turn it into an improper fraction. I know, sounds crazy. You're like, what, Mr. Poole? We're not supposed to leave them improper. I know. But basically, we're doing this so that we can multiply mixed numbers together as improper fractions, and then we fix it and make it back to being a mixed number for the final answer. So it just makes it a lot easier to work those kind of problems out. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to teach you how to do that. Cool. Now on page 773, we got a circle that's all filled in and half of another one. Now, if we wrote that as a mixed number, we'd have 1.5 for how much of it is shaded, right? Now, if we just looked at the amounts, the halves that are shaded, we have 1, 2, 3. That's your numerator, and then we were talking about halves, so there's your denominator. Now, the easy way to do this, check this out, super duper easy, guys. This will like blow your mind right here. All we got to do is multiply here. So our denominator times our times our whole number. So 2 times 1 is, boom, 2, right? And then what's 2 plus 1? 3. Hey, check that out. There's that 3 we were just talking about. And then your denominator stays the same. There's that 2 right there. That's it. That's all we're doing. Is that simple. Cool. All right. So we got another example on page. Go ahead and turn to page 774. We got another example. Let's see. I'll put it down here. So we've got 2 circles completely filled. And then we got this one right here. It's only got 1/4 filled. So if we wrote that as a mixed number, how many whole circles do we have filled? Let's see. Audrey, help me out. How many whole ones do we have? Yep. There's that 2. And then what fraction of that one's filled? Now, that's how we would write this as a mixed number. But if we want to make it improper, let's multiply. And then we're going to add our numerator. So, Audrey, what's 2 times 4? Absolutely, is 8, right? And then 8 plus 1? Okay, cool. So that equals 9 over, and then what was our denominator? Stays the same. Boom. So we just turned this mixed number into an improper fraction. Now we can multiply this times another fraction, or improper fraction, or whatever we want to. So, cool. Let's look at example number 1. They want us to name this as improper fraction and also as a mixed number. So let's see, who can I jump to? Mikey, coming to you, bro. So Mikey, how am I going to write these shapes, the shaded shapes here? How am I going to write those as a mixed number? Okay, 1, 2. All right, cool. I like that. I guess I'll put it. Where can we put it? We'll put it over here. So we got 2. All right, awesome. And then what's my fraction shaded on that one? Absolutely, 1/2. Now, cool, that's half the answer. We're already halfway there. Now, check out the rest. Remember our method. We multiply our denominator times the whole number. So here's my denominator down here. And we're going to go times our whole number. So what's 2 times 2? Absolutely, that's 4. Someone found a horn. All right, cool, so there's 4. And then we got to add our numerator, right? So what's 4 plus 1, Mikey? Absolutely. 5. And then does the denominator change? Nah, it stays the same. just going to come right over there like so. So we got 5 over 2 and we got 2.5. Cool? All right, that's it, for real. It's that simple, guys. Hey, and if you don't get it, hey, jump back 30 seconds, watch that part again. I think you'll be good to go. Now, on example 2, it gives us 2 1/3, and they want us to turn it into an improper fraction. Cool, we've just been doing that. Now remember, we multiply these two numbers, we add the top. That's it. So let's see. Now I'm jumping to Cassie. Cassie, 3 times 2. What's 3 times 2? Yup. That's 6, right? And then what's 6 plus 1? Absolutely. 7. And then what was our denominator? Yup, it's that 3. The 3 just comes right over. Done. That's it. That's all we got to do, guys. Okay. Example number 3 is a multiplication problem, but we got to turn it into improper fractions before we can multiply. So we're just going to do the same steps we just did. Gavin, help me out. So 2 times 1. That's 2. And then 2 plus 1, because we got to add our numerator here. Yep, that's 3. And then remember, the denominator stays the same. It stays the same. All right, cool. Gavin, keep going for me. What's 4 times 2? There you go, 8. And then what's 8 plus 3? Absolutely, there's 11. And then our denominator stays the same, right? You guys with me on that? Sweet. All right, so Gavin, let's multiply straight across. Boom, 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 straight across. 3 times 11, 33. 2 times 4, 8. Awesome. What is 8? How many times does 8 go into 33, Gavin? Okay, nice. It goes in 4 times. And then what's left over? Because let's see, 4 times 8 is 32. So that's going to leave me 1 left over, right? What's my denominator going to be? What do we divide by right here? Absolutely. Cool, so we turned them into improper fractions so we could multiply, but then we turned it back into a mixed number because we don't want our answer to stay improper like that. At least not on a working problem there. Cool, that was example 3. Now, example 4 is where things get a little tricky. I'll read it for you guys. It says, Cleon prepared 2 1/4 cups, 2 1/4 cups of liquid plant food for his plants. How much of the mixture should each of the 9 plants receive if each plant is to receive the same amount? All right, cool. So we're going 2 1/4 cups divided by 9 plants. All right. Now, I'm going to jump to, let's see. I'm trying to remember if Elodie's helped me out yet. We're going to go to you anyways, Elodie. Here you go. Now, Elodie, we're going to turn this into an improper fraction to start with. What's 4 times 2? Yup, and then we got to add the 1 to it, right? All right, so that's 9. And then what's our denominator going to be? Yeah, it stays the same, right? So it's going to be a 4. Now, we're going to change this division problem to be multiplication. Now, an easy thing to do is go ahead, hey, turn that 9 into a fraction before we even do anything, right? Let's turn that 9 into a fraction. Let's put a 1 underneath it. Now, when we're changing this problem to be multiplication, sign's got to change, right? And then remember, we learned about the reciprocal. Remember, that's how we flip that fraction upside down. Now that 1's going to be on top, y'all. All right, cool. So we put the 1 on top, 9 on the bottom, and then we multiply. So 9 times 1 equals 9. And then what's 4 times 9, Ellie? It's kind of a big one, right? See, 4 times 10 would be 40. We could go 40 minus 4. Yeah, there you go, 36. But, wait a minute, 9 over 36, I can reduce those. I can reduce. Watch how I reduce this. I'm going to divide both of those by 9, right? What's 9 divided by 9? Yup. What's 36 divided by 9? Yeah, we just did it over there. Now, I've showed my class this several times, and it kind of blows their mind every time I did it in class. We'd have like deer in the headlights look. They'd be like, what? Huh? I don't get it, Mr. Poe. All right, so let's check it out. Let's try it. Watch this. So if we have 9/4 times 1 over 9, we can reduce diagonally before we even multiply. So I can reduce this way. 9 goes into 9 one time, so I'm going to cross off that 9. 9 goes into 9 one time, so I can cross this guy off. And then when I multiply 1 times 1, 1, 4 times 1, 4. Do you see how we just got the same answer without having to have that 9 over 36 and trying to reduce it and stuff? We just reduced it diagonally here before we even got like to that point. So we can do that when we're multiplying our fractions. Kind of nice, kind of easy. Cool, go ahead and turn the page with me. We are on page 776 now, and we're already looking at lesson practice. Oh, I forgot to label. Cups, 1 1/4 cups. All right, so lesson practice, guys. We're gonna do the first 3, then we're gonna go every other one. It's all good. Now, on A, they want us to write the mixed number and write the improper fraction. So, let's look at this thing. Let's go to Kaylee. Kaylee, here you go, help me out. So if I write this as a mixed number, I've got 1, and then 1, 2, 3, over 4, right? Cool, that's half the answer. Now, remember our trick. We're gonna multiply here, and then we're gonna add the numerator to it. What's 4 times 1? 4, right? And then what's 4 plus 3? 7. Nice. So we got 7 on the top. What goes on the bottom, Kaylee? Absolutely. That 4 goes on the bottom. Cool, we're gonna do the same thing with B. Check out B. This time I'm gonna go to Ethan. All right, Ethan, help me out. How many full circles do we have? Yep, there's 3. And then how much of this circle is shaded? Nice, 1/2. Now, let's do our trick. We're gonna go 3 times 2, and then add that 1. What's 3 times 2, Ethan? 6, nice. What's 6 plus 1? Absolutely. And then what's gonna be our denominator? Yeah, stays the same. It's just gonna be that 2. Easy peasy, Mr. Poolsy. Here we go. All right, check out C. Now we're gonna go over to bin F, over in room 10. Ben, help me out, bro. How many whole circles do we have? Yep, there's 2. And then what fraction of this circle is shaded? 1, 2, and there's 3 total, right? 2 out of 3. Now we're gonna multiply and add. So what's 2 times 3? 6, right, Ben? Good job. What's 6 plus 2, Ben? 8. And then, what's my denominator going to be? Absolutely. 8 over 3. Cool. Now, that's pretty easy. At least I think so. Now, we're going to turn D and F into improper fractions. So let's jump over to Matthew R. Over there in room 10. Help me out, bro. What's 4 times 2? Plus 1. Bingo. Equals 9 over what? What's my denominator, Matthew? 9 over 2. Sweet. On to the next one. Let's jump all the way to, let's see. Cassidy, help me out here. All right, what's 4 times 2? 8. Okay, what's 8 plus 3? Absolutely. And then remember, it's got to be over that same denominator. What's my denominator here? 4. Sweet, so we're going to put a 4 underneath that thing. All right, all right, all right. Now, H and J gets a little tricky because we're doing multiplication. Watch what we should do. Step 1, let's turn those whole numbers into fractions right to start with. So I'm going to put a 1 under this one. I'm going to put a 1 under that 6, just like that. Voila. All right, let's roll with this. Now, here's my mixed number I want to turn into an improper fraction. Let's do it. 3 times 4 is 12. And then 12 plus 1 is going to make it, Jordan, help me out. So 3 times 4 was 12, and then 12 plus 1 is how much, man? There you go, 13. And then watch this. We're just going to get rid of this guy, and we're going to leave it just like that. Now we can multiply straight across. So Jordan, what's 3 times 13? That's kind of a big one. 3 times 3, I think that's a 9. 3 times 1, there he goes, 3, 39. 1 times 4, yep, that's pretty easy, right? Now, 4 goes into 39 how many times, Jordan? It's kind of a biggie. I think we had it up here somewhere. Yeah, 4 times 9 is 36. Okay, so if I put a whole 9, 4 goes into 39 9 times, that's 36. And that leaves me how much left over? What's 39 minus 36, Jordan? There you go, 3. And then the denominator stays the same because that's what we divided by. Awesome, and I can't reduce that. 3 over 4, I can't reduce, we're done. Cool, let's check out J, as in Jordan. All right, we're gonna jump over to Lucas. Lucas, help me out, bro. Remember, we multiply the bottom number times our whole number. What's 3 times 2? All right, there you go, 6. What's 6 plus 2? Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and erase that. We're gonna put it right there. Boom, boom, boom. We got 8 over 3. Oh, look at that guy. Times 6 over 1. Here we go. So, help me out, Lucas. What's 8 times 6? Ooh, it's kind of a big one. Awesome, I like it. 48. Awesome, and then what's 3 times 1? There we go. We got that 3. Now, 3 goes into 4 how many times? Yes, that's 1. We'll do a little short division. We'll put the 1 right next to that 18. 3 goes into 18 how many times, Lucas? There you go. Cool, so our final answer is 16. Now, this is one of those problems we could have reduced across the way. So we could have gone 3 into 3, goes in 1 time, 3 goes into 6 2 times, and just multiplied straight across, and that would have given us 16 over 1, which obviously equals 16, right? But, you know, maybe you're ready for that. If you're ready for that, go for it, rock and roll. If you're not, that's fine. Just keep doing what we're doing. You will be good. Now, L. Oh, man, these division ones are killer. Now, let's go ahead, put our 1 underneath that 4 to start with. Now, when we're dividing fractions, remember that first fraction just comes straight down, right? So I'm going to move it over here so we have a little bit more room. So we got 4 over 1. Remember, I'm going to change my division sign to a multiplication sign. But first, before we do anything else, let's go ahead and turn this mixed number into an improper fraction. Now, let's see, who could help me out? Victoria, help me out here. So we got 2 times 1 plus 1. Okay, what's that equal? Okay, cool. So that's going to be a 3 over 2. All right. Now we have our improper fraction. But what happens in a division problem that we've made to a multiplication problem? Remember, we got flip-flop that guy. We got to go to the reciprocal. So what is the reciprocal? Woo! We'll do it kind of vertical like that. There we go. Is 2 over 3. Now let's multiply that for me. Go ahead and multiply it for me, Victoria. 4 times 2, 8. Looks good. 1 times 3, 3. Awesome. How many times does 3 go into 8? Absolutely. 2 times. And then let's see. 2 times 3 is 6. So that leaves us 2 left over, right, Victoria? Nice. So we got 2 over 3, because remember that denominator is going to stay the same. Cool. All right. Fantastic. Now would be the time for you to go and get your math worksheet for homework, because we're going to go over a few of those problems, and I'll have them up here for you in a second. All right, if you don't have your math sheets out yet, go grab those, because you will need those right now. Because I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to give you about a third of the questions right now for your homework. Now, I'm going to give you some hints on some of these. I'm not going to quite work them out. Now, remember, when we're multiplying a decimal number times the number that ends with a 0, like 10, 100, 1,000, all you got to do is count the 0, move the decimal over that many spaces. So, obviously, if the decimal's between the 4 and the 7, I only have 1 0, we're going to scoot that guy over 1 spot. Done. Cool. I think there's a B and a C. I think you guys should be able to figure those out now. On number 4, it said 2/5 of the people stayed on the subway all the way. 3/5 of them have gotten out. So that's 3/5 of 100. Notice I made 100 a fraction, and then we can multiply. So 300. So it'll be 300 over 5. And I'm going to make you guys divide that because it's really not that hard. And then I think you're going to label it something like passengers, something along those lines. Cool, cool, cool. On number 5, we got an item that's $28. There's 8% tax. The question is asking us how much tax would that be, and then what would the total price of the item be, including the tax. Sweet. All we got to do is multiply by 8%. Now, when I turn 8% into a decimal number, we got to start here. We're going to go over 2 places, and we're going to put our decimal. Notice there's a space there. Gracie A, help me out. So if I have a space there, what goes in that space, Gracie? Absolutely, we've got to put a 0 in that spot. Now, we can multiply over here our 28 times 0.8 or 0.08. I'm going to get rid of the cents because they're not really important in that part of the question. Now, 8 times 8, Gracie, that's kind of a biggie, right? 8 times 8. Help me out there. What is that? 8 times 8 makes 64. Great. So put that 6 up on top. And then we got 8 times 2, which, you know, we jump up there a couple times. That's 16, right? Now, 16 plus 6 is going to be 22. Now, let's count our decimal spaces. How many decimal spaces do we have, Gracie? We got 2 spaces right there. So let's add those 2 spaces, drop it on in, and then we got to add our dollar sign. Sweet, that's our tax. We just figured out the tax on that item right there. But we also got to find out what the total price was. So now we got to come back and we got to add that tax to that original $28. So 28 plus 2 is going to make 30, correct? So there's our $30, and then our change is going to be this 27 cents. Cool, so that's how much it's going to cost, including the tax. Cool, on to number 8. Skip down to number 8. We're going to multiply 2 times 2 3/4. We're going to make 2 a fraction to start with. Now let's turn this 2 3/4 into an improper fraction. Now I'm going to go over to Shane. Shane, help me out here, bud. If I'm going to make this an improper fraction, step 1, what do I need to do to it? Got to multiply. And then we have to, yeah, it's like this is what we just did for the whole lesson. So what's 4 times 2, Shane? 8, and 8 plus 3, awesome, is 11, right? 11 over 4. So we could go 2 times 1, or 2 over 1 times 11 over 4. So 2 times 11, what's that equal? Nice, 22. Now, what's 1 times 4, Shane? All right, I'm liking it so far. How many times does 4 go into 22? Yep, goes in 5 times. What's left over? Oh, yeah, there you go. So 2 over 4. Now, I got to reduce that fraction. I can't leave it that way, can I? Absolutely, because that's going to break down to be 5 and 1/2. Cool. Awesome. So, just like I told you guys before, check this out. We could cross reduce these guys right here. That would be a 1, this would be a 2. And so then that would have been 11 over 2, which also would have equaled 5 and 1/2. Either one of those ways, totally cool. If that freaks you out and you're like, too many steps, I can't do it, that's fine. You'll do it in 6th grade. Or maybe 7th, I can't remember. Now, let's check out 9. 9's one of those division problems I know we struggle with. Let's turn that 5 into a fraction to start with. Now, we got to mess with this mixed number like we learned today in today's lesson. I'm going to go to Vinny. Vinny, help me out. What am I going to do here? We just did it up there, right? Yeah, we're going to multiply here, and then we're going to add the numerator to that. So, let's see. 3 times 1. That's 3, right? And then plus 2 is 5. Cool. So I'm going to get rid of these guys. I'm going to put that 5 on top. All right, cool. Now we got to deal with this problem, this division problem we have. Now we want to change it into a multiplication problem. So that 5 over 1, remember that first fraction in the division problem comes straight down. But then we got to change it to multiplication. Yeah. All right, now remember, once we change to multiplication, remember my little squiggly do right here means? That means we need the reciprocal, right? Awesome. So we're going to change this 5 over 3 to 3 over 5. Cool. Now multiply for me, man. What's 5 times 3? 15. Looks like 45. That's just for my arrow. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. Cool. Put my arrow there. Woo. All right, so now it looks like 75. Oh, my goodness. So we got 15. And then we got 1 times 5 is another 5. Cool. 15 divided by 5 is how much? I think, where are we at? Vinny? Vinny, help me out, bro. What's 15 divided by 5? Absolutely, all day long is a nice, beautiful 3. Now, this is kind of one of those problems we had issues with on our test on Friday. So let's check this out. Number 12, we have 0.04 times 0.28. I'm gonna put that point a little closer just so it's a little easier to see on video. We got this guy, we got this guy. Now, let's go over to Sophia. Hey, Sophia, what's up? All right, we got 4 times 8 is how much, Sophia? That's 32, right? We carry that 3. And then 4 times 2? Yep, it's 8. And then we got to add 3 to that. So 8, 9, 10, 11. There you go. All right, let's count our decimal spaces, though, because let's see how many spaces we have. Not decimals. I only have 2 decimals, but we got to look at the spaces. How many spaces over are they? We got 1, 2. Okay, we got 2 there. We got 1, 2. We got 2 more there. So that means we got 4 that we need to scoot over. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put our decimal. Oh no, there's a space. Sophia, what do I got to put in that space? Absolutely, got to drop a 0 in there, just like so. Sweet. I decided we'd do number 14 because we haven't done some huge 4-digit by 2-digit division in a while. Just want to help y'all out. All right, now I automatically know that 19 does not go into 37 2 times because 2 times 19 is 38. So that means we're going to have to go with a 1 here. So let's subtract. Who can help me with this? Dylan, help me out, bro. So we got to do what? Yeah, we got to borrow from that 3. That makes that 17. Okay, what's 17 minus 9, Dylan? There you go. There's that 8. And there's 2 minus 1 is 1. We drop this 0 right here. Awesome. Cool. So let's see what's going to go in there. So let's see. If I rounded, remember we learned the little trick. So if you round that 19 to 20, how many times does 20 go into 180? Or how many times does 2 go into 18? Yeah, it goes in 9 times. So let's try out 9. Let's see if 9 works. So 9 times 9 is 81. So we carry that 8. And then 9 times 1 is 9 plus 8, 17. Nice. So we're going to borrow because we got to subtract here. That gives us 9, and that gives us 5. All right, cool. So if I round that up to 20 again, so we round 19 to 20, and we're dividing into, let's round that to 100. 20 goes into 100 5 times, right? So let's try that out, Dylan. We dropped this 5 in here. What's 9 times 5, Dylan? There you go, there's 5, we carry the, 45, there's the 4, we carry the 4. All right, 5 times 1 plus 4 is how much, man? 95 minus 95, 0. We got no remainder on that thing, sweet. Oop, I'm gonna have to get that out of the way. It's kind of in the way of our next problem. I was worried about writing too big, and I did. All right, here we go. So number 19, we got 5 and we got 8. We're trying to find the lowest common multiple. So now I'm over to Jeremiah. Jeremiah, help me out, bro. Let's start counting by 5s. 5, 10. There you go. Keep going. Keep going. Yep. Keep going. Keep going. Oh my goodness. Keep going. All right. We're going to call it good at 40. All right. Let's try with the 8s. All right. So yell them out, Jeremiah. 8. Yep. 16, 24, 32, and 40. All right. Trying to find a common one. Boom. Got it. So, Jeremiah, what's our lowest common multiple of this problem right here? Absolutely. 40. Beautiful. Pew, 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 pew. All right. Now we got 21. Just a regular division problem. But hey, I like to work through these ones. Let's go ahead and make it a fraction over 1. Let's take that whole number, turn it into a fraction to start with. Now, here it goes. Ben B over in my class, help me out here. 5 over 6 change? Not at all. Comes straight down. 5 over 6. Now, how is my division sign going to change, Ben? Yep, becomes a multiplication. And then what about this 2 over 1? Absolutely. It becomes 1 over 2. Now multiply. What's that equal? Yep, 5 over 12. All done. Now, number 29 is talking about a person, and they had this problem, 277 divided by 4. They made a rough estimate of it being about 70. So let's work through that. So let's round 277. Let's use some compatible numbers. what can I round that to that's going to be really close to 4? Let's see. Mariah, help me out. So if I've got 277, what number would 4 go into evenly that's just a little bit bigger than that? There you go. If we round this up to 280, let's divide it by 4. 4 goes in 28, how many times? 7. Okay, and then 4 goes into 0, how many times? 0. Awesome, so that would say that her estimate is very reasonable. All right, cool. That's our lesson for today, and I'm going to look back at Friday's video, and if it doesn't have lesson 103 in there for you to check your answers for the homework, I'm going to attach it to the end of this lesson just to be sure. But if it's on there, then go back and watch that one. I'm not going to put it on here twice, y'all. All right, cool. Hope everybody's doing good, and see you for some Bible.